Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'm Cynthia Hoven, and I'm delighted to once again be with you and start the new season of Eurythmy online, helping you to build your own personal Eurythmy practice. Because Eurythmy is an art form that gives us so much strength in body, soul, and spirit. And it's my wish to create the possibility for as many people as possible to take up a practice and create their own practice of Eurythmy, helping you to ground yourself, to center yourself, to overcome stress, and to find a deepening through this wonderful spiritual path. So, welcome. Many of you who are signing in this morning, who have registered for this series, are people who've been with us before, and quite a few of you are new. And so in this class, I'll be creating a journey which will be able to be nourishing for both those who are doing this as a repeat journey. We'll take it the next step, and also for those of you who are new. I'd like to begin by just considering the times that we're in. I've been doing these webinars for 12 months, and I know that when the shutdowns and all began, March a year ago, we all dared to imagine it would be only a matter of weeks. And it's been already a year and a half. It's been a most dramatic time. And I know that Eurythmy can really help us to live and make sense out of these times that we're living in. For that reason, I've chosen to use these first lessons to go back and do the very first building blocks that I offered in the first series that I did, namely the immune support exercises. These are a very special branch of therapeutic Eurythmy that help us to be harmonized in our thinking, in our feeling, and in our willing, thereby finding a way to have more resilience, more strength, more self-knowledge, and to draw forces from spirit right into our embodiment. And so, as I said, although some of you have done these exercises before, we'll greet them again. This time, I'm changing the format of the whole lesson a little bit. And for those of you who've done lessons with me before, you'll want to take a look at how this is going to flow. I'm going to be doing these exercises, the warm-up and the general exercises, until quarter after the hour. So I'll take a full hour for doing that. And then I'm going to start the part of the lesson that is designed for people who've already done more Eurythmy. And that means that we won't be having a chat and questions and answers at the end of this. At the end of the whole series, I'll take a session for having some questions and answers. But for the first few weeks, we'll just keep going. If you do have questions for me, you can email me with the questions, and I'll do my best to get back to them. For those of you who are new, you're going to have such a rich palette of exercises from today's work for this first hour that I'm going to invite you to let that be enough for you. And I'm going to invite you to not be overly ambitious and also continue on the next exercises, because in the second 25 minutes of the class, we're going to do things that you've never learned, and it might be a little bit more than you can digest. But those of you who've done more, we're going to go back and build on some of the lessons you've already had. So with that, I welcome you. Let's begin. We're going to begin by feeling ourselves in space. How do we occupy this body that we live in in space. And we find, first of all, we're going to use the directions of space and enliven our awareness of it. So imagine with me what it is before we are born. We live in the whole widths and heights and depths of the universe, large as infinity. And then we compact and contract our self, our spirit self, creating a body that is then laid in and comes into being inside the womb of the mother. And it comes in perhaps as a golden sphere. And this golden sphere then finds its way and integrates itself and unites with matter. So the body grows and grows. And then when you are born, you are laid into this physical world. Suddenly, you'll have a completely different awareness of the dimensions of space. You gradually have to learn to stand up. And you have to deal with the fact that now the stars are above your head and the earth is below your feet. You're no longer just a sphere. And then as you come to terms with gravity, then you notice what your arms can do in space. They can touch and grasp and feel. And then without even being conscious of it, we notice how the world of the senses engages us. And we have always living behind us a part of us that we can't see. This is a living meditation of the fact that there's always an invisible spiritual aspect of our lives that we don't see with our physical eyes. It's a real miracle. And I always say, if we can be aware of that, we have access to so much more strength. So as we develop this first exercise, we're going to pay attention to all of space that we inhabit. Now, with that as a foundation, picture to yourself the stars above your head. Imagine one star is there for you. You don't need to use your arms like I am right now. This is just a mental imagination. Imagine your own star above your head. And imagine that star has been looking for you for all the years of your life. Let the light from that star shine down to you. When you stand straight, it can fill you. Let the light from that star shine down through your body. This is why you have a straight spine. Let the light from that star continue all the way through your legs, into your feet, and through them to the center of the earth. And you are then occupying space as a lightning rod, as a being of light. This is deeper than your body. This is your architecture. Stand straight, filled with light. And now take a breath and think of your hands. Your hands are kind of meaningless when they stand at your side. These hands are meant for the world. And so in this first quiet exercise, you spread your arms out to the right and to the left, the will side and the heart side of your body. And high above the stars, high above the center of the earth and far below the stars, is this whole realm of humanity, this whole realm of nature. And now remember what I said about front space and back space. Can you feel, you don't need your hand, just feel the whole front surface of your body built to love the world, to touch it and see it, smell it and taste it. Just lean forward a little bit. And now lean backwards a little bit. Feel the whole back surface of your body and feel, I wonder if I can awaken to that. Now imagine behind your heart, a line of light is streaming into you, awakening the chakra of your heart. Now bring your hands to your heart in completion and feel inside my heart all these dimensions of space, filling my heart with the story of my life. Now, we'll do that from the beginning, but you don't have to build it up so slowly each time. We just go into the cross. I am in balance between above, below, right, left, front, back. Now, to intensify that experience, we will go down into gravity. Feel yourself, if you're able to bend like this, not too forward, but into your knees, feel the power of the earth. My body is made to deal with gravity. I clench my muscles. And now, in contrast, I lift my arms high and feel I came from the stars and I can still think of them. That gives me hope and meaning. Now spread your arms wide. I find my world when I reach into it with my loving heart. Now take one step or two steps forward and feel the world of the senses engages me all day long. Now feel your back and feel whenever I can remember the invisible part of my life, where the angels are, where the helpers are, I remember my spiritual mission, my meaning. Now bring your hands to your heart. Inside my heart, I create a place of peace. Now spread that peace through your hands. And now with very loving hands, you're going to bless this world you live in. You come from the stars, you live in the world, and you bless it, and you feel, may peace be below me. May peace be above me. And may peace be all around me. And as I go forward into the world of the senses, may my interactions not be greedy, but be loving, grateful. And as I go back, may I open myself to the sensation of being filled by light from behind. Inside my heart, I bear an image of the whole world. And one last time, and when you practice this at home, do this 3 times in a row. And practice now moving very carefully. Your etheric body is more than your physical body. May peace be below me. In your hands, feel this whole space of etheric energy around you. May peace be above me. And may peace be all around me. May peace be before me. And may peace be behind me. And may peace be within me. With your hands on your heart, breathe carefully. And I mean the heart chakra, not the physical heart. But as you breathe, feel your lungs holding your heart, embracing it. Gently feel the rhythms inside yourself. Slow down all of your stress that you might have. And acknowledge that this is the place of the warmth, the warm light that we need to develop in this time of so many momentous things on our planet. Your heart is so wise. Now we're going to nourish the heart with the so-called contracting and expanding exercise. Remember this picture of the stars that you come from, the sun in the skies, and open yourself to that with your arms. And discover that you can go beyond your arms with your fingertips. Now, at this point, I want to remind you, don't look up. Feel, we're trying to develop the feeling of our space and not let the eyes have that. I'm going to take a step closer just so you can see how I do this. I'm feeling up, but I'm not looking up. My whole heart, everything inside me is open and streaming. And now I accept and I receive from outside light, strength, food of spirit into my heart. I take it again. I don't look down, but my gaze is inward. And I'm ready, I'm renewed, I'm strengthened, and I give myself away and I receive. And you feel that this is moving like a flower, opening and closing. And from the seed in your heart, you grow your spirit back to the universe. And from the universe, you are blessed and born anew. And again, and notice once again how this relieves your stress because you go nice and gently through these movements, not too slowly, but at an organic pace. And in and up. Now I'm going to recite a poem for this. This is a verse by Rudolf Steiner. I don't want you to speak it. I want you to learn to hear it in your inner ear when you practice. And it says, within my heart shines the light of the sun. Within my soul weaves the warmth of the world. I will breathe the light of the sun. I will feel the warmth of the world. Light of the sun pour into me. And warmth of the world flow through me. And I'll do that one more time with you so that you can become accustomed to these words. As I said, in your Eurythmy practice, you do not speak yourself, but you learn to speak as if your higher self is speaking for you, and you listen as you move. But while you're learning it, you'll need to hear me speak it for you. So once again, I start my practice. I feel above, below, right, left, front, back, in and out. And I open my heart. And I feel within my heart shines the light of the sun. Within my soul weaves the warmth of the world. I will breathe the light of the sun. I will feel the warmth of the world. Light of the sun, pour into me. And warmth of the world, flow through me. Great. And at the end of each exercise, take a moment to breathe. Enliven all of your, should you have stress, it just can melt away as you breathe. Now we have created our relationship to space, and we have taken the next step of enlivening the middle. But it's very important that we really do the work to enliven our legs and our feet. And I emphasize that because for so many people, especially when we drive a lot or when we spend a lot of time sitting, for a lot of people, they're not really in their legs. And so you can watch people walking, they're kind of just tripping along. And in Eurythmy, we want to be sure that the legs become conscious even as the arms are, that my legs are penetrated with my spirit being. And we know, I believe, that in this age, we have a temptation to say, the world is so hard, and some people just hardly want to be here. Part of the reasons for disease, even, that we just want to escape. And I want us to practice getting into the legs. And we do that to begin with our experience of threefold walking. And in Eurythmy, we learn to walk in a way where we're talking to the earth with every step. Now I'm going to first demonstrate for you. Whenever I do Eurythmy, however fast or slow I go, I'm touching the ground with my feet first. Even if I'm doing a very, very fast form, I'm always touching with the toes of my feet first, because with every step, I am imprinting my life path onto the earth, and I penetrate gravity. But we have to build a foundation before we're able to do that quickly. And so we do that by a practice of slow, mindful walking. And with each step, we notice that we have to lift our foot, carry it forwards, and place it on the ground. I'm going to walk diagonally for you. I don't need you to walk diagonally, but that way you'll be able to see my feet better. I will take perhaps 8 steps forward if I can fit that onto the screen. If you don't have room to take 8 steps forward, in the time that I do 8, you can do 4 steps forward and 4 back. That should work for most of you. So first, let's do a sloppy walk. Take 4 steps or 8 steps forward. Sloppy, however you walk in a regular way. Yeah. Shuffling the feet. Now you're going to ask yourself, can I feel the ground when I walk? Again, we'll do it just a little quicker, but feel with every step, you're rolling your feet onto the floor, right? And do you notice, I'm not counting steps really, do you notice that with every step, there's actually 3 components? Touching the ground, but also moving, the moving part, and also freeing yourself from the ground. That means with every step, we have a threefold character: lifting your foot, carrying it, and placing it. So this is a silent, meditative activity we have as you walk. Let's break it down. I start with my feet a little bit separate, one in front of the other. Perhaps you'll put your right foot back, but I'm not particular about that. And before you take your first step, Imagine that, or become aware of the fact that to lift your foot, you have to overcome gravity. Make it a little bit hard for yourself. Feel, this is, I don't know, 30 pounds at least in your legs. Maybe the arm is 15, so whatever that is. Then you have to lift that leg up and feel like you're lifting it as if it were Velcro. Yeah. And now put it down again. And as you lift, start with the heel, the arch, the toe, until finally you can lift it up. And now, carefully from the hips through the knee, move it forwards, but don't overstretch. Just move it so that the toe is just below the knee. And now feel the earth, meet the earth with the toe, and roll your foot down. I feel you, earth. Thank you for carrying me. Got an open step. Now do that with the other foot. Lift it, roll it up. You've just had so much power to lift your leg. Carry and meet the earth and place. And the other foot, lift and carry and place. And again, now I know that a couple of you might be in wheelchairs or unable to walk, but you can do the same thing if you have to sit. You can bring this rolling motion into your legs. It's very therapeutic, even if you cannot walk. And again, lift and carry and place. I know that I'm off the screen, but I think you can do that. Lift, carry, place. One more step. Lift, carry, place. Now we walk backwards. We have to remember what we learned with the peace exercise, how to feel the space behind you. So now you're going to walk back into that space of spirit. Lift your foot from the heel to the toe, carry it backwards, and place. Lift. Of course, when you carry, the trick is that you have to be balanced. And for some people, of course, going this slowly is an extra challenge for your balance. And that's okay. Embrace that challenge. Lift, carry, and place. Lift, carry, and place. And lift, carry, place. 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 And I know you can't see my feet here, but you can hear my words. I'm back. And as you begin to get used to this, can you feel the energy in your body slowly becoming calm, becoming rhythmical? And I want you to breathe with your stepping. I want you to become just so relaxed, overcoming stress, relaxing into the present moment, mindful walking. As we know, most spiritual paths have a component of walking, a walking meditation. Now, so you notice with every step we're lifting and carrying and placing, lifting, carrying, and placing. And this is a circular motion with the feet. And with this circular motion, so up and down, I'd like you to hold your hands like I am and make the simple circles here. Lift, carry, place. Do you see? Lift, carry, and place. And with this is how you breathe when we're doing the walking slowly. You breathe, inhale, sustain, release. Inhale, sustain, release. Inhale as you lift. Now that happens with your feet when you're walking. lift. So these little circles that you're doing with your hands now are experienced down here in the feet. So you've got your feet separated now. Lift your foot and gently inhale, nothing big. Hold and release and breathe out through your foot. Lift, carry, lift, lift, carry, lift. You don't have to move your arm like I'm moving mine. Just trying to demonstrate it for you. Lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, and place, and backwards. Lift, place, carry, place, carry, place. Thank you. I told you last year, those of you who have not been with me last year might not have heard this, but practicing threefold walking is so therapeutic. And my teacher's teacher worked directly with Rudolf Steiner. And at one point in life, she got breast cancer. And this was before he had developed Eurythmy. She asked him what to do, and he told her two things. One, spend an hour every day clarifying your thinking, clear thoughts, by reading difficult Greek philosophers. And second, do an entire hour of threefold walking every day to bring these harmonizing elements right through your body. So friends, although in this class I won't spend an entire hour doing threefold walking with you, at home, practice it generously until you feel centered and grounded. In general, I tell you not to practice Eurythmy outside. Your etheric body is generally not strong enough to stay together if you do it outside. You can get rather stacey. But threefold walking, you're welcome to try outside, barefoot on the lawn. It's a wonderful thing to do if you like. Now, I'd like to add to our practice a new element that's also new for the people who've done Eurythmy before with me. And I'm going to add an activity for the arms, for the hands. And we're going to practice doing soul exercises with the hands. So we're going to begin by feeling different moods out of the gesture that we hold our hands in. So we're going to begin by holding our hands like this, and later we'll do this as we walk. So stand very tall and straight, hold your hands flat, one upon the other, and hold them right here at your waistline. Of course, if you're sitting, you can do this too. Of course, stand very straight. And you can ask yourself, if you were to name that feeling, what is it like? What are you feeling? It's also possible to do the other hand on the bottom. I'm not too strict about that. Straight and tall, silent. Can you fully embody that feeling? And in Eurythmy, we name the feeling expressed by this and engendered by this, the feeling of earnestness. This one doesn't have an inner smile in it. It's sober, earnest. But now, we're going to take the next step and separate the hands like this and let them breathe a little bit. It changes right away the way I feel my chest. It's not so rigid. Like the, you have a name for that feeling. And we call that lightness. Not greatly joyful yet, it's not laughing, but it's light. In Eurythmy, we practice really bringing soul into our movements. Feel the lightness. All right, I'm going to take another movement now. Imagine that you have the light of a candle, an invisible spiritual candle in your hand. You're going to hold that light like this. If you stand like this, what feeling does that engender? What does that give you? We call this one either devotion or piety. You see how you've compacted and contracted and concentrated your soul forces, holding that sacred candle, even as you would hold your heart as you go through the world. And they'll give you another one. And what is this feeling? You can choose your name for it, but there's something of prayer, prayerful reverence in this, prayerful devotion. All right. We're going to now try walking with ease. Hold your hands first in earnestness. Walk as far as you can. I'll walk 4 forwards and 4 back. Hands in earnestness. How is that expressed when you walk? Very straight, very tall. Can you fill your whole body with this feeling of earnestness? And back. It's a little bit stiff, right? This is correct. To be a bit stiff, or maybe a better word is held and concentrated. And back. What changes if you separate your hands a little bit? And we call this lightness. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. And now the lifting has a bit more emphasis. Can you feel that? Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. Again, even though the lift has more consciousness, never forget to thank the earth with every step. Thank you, ground. And now your feet feel a little bit more joy, but you're still firmly grounded. Place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place. And now we'll go to this feeling of the candle. So hold your hand here and lift, carry, place. Lift, carry, place. Do you feel how protected, lovingly protected you are of this light. Carry and place. And backwards, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place. So kind of exquisite. Carry, place, lift, carry, and place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, and back, carry, place. And I know you're feeling stretched a little bit to feel with your feet and with your hands and your heart all together. And isn't that a wonderful magic to feel your whole body as an expression of your soul? Fold your arms. What does that change in you if you do it consciously? Hold that. Carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, and place, and backwards, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, and place. So make a note of this, these four movements. There are many more we can do, which is greediness, desire, and so on. We're not doing that. We're taking these delicate ones also as a step towards learning how the Eurythmy body becomes a home for your spirit and your soul, penetrated with your life. And now, those of you who've been doing Eurythmy already, you know that we begin then to enter the realm of the vowels and the consonants in Eurythmy. And now we're ready to take our next step for today, which is to learn the first of the 3 soul exercises we're going to learn for the arms, and the first of the foot exercises, of the 2 foot exercises. Let's stay with the feet for just a moment. And I'd like you to feel not only that you can express balance with the feet, but you can also express a particular emotion with the feet. And we're going to use the feet to express, yes, I want to do something, or no, I think that's wrong. Yes, I agree. No, I'm not doing that. And we do that in Eurythmy like this. And these are 2 of the immune support movements here. With your left leg standing firmly on your right, you're going to make a sweeping half circle to the front. With that, you're expressing, yes, I will unite myself. I'm going to do something. Now that I'm here, my weight is balanced on both feet. And I go back and start again. I have to balance on the right to be able to say, yes, I'm going forward. But I don't step all the way onto that front foot. I'm balanced on both. Step back. Again, yes. We use the heart side of the body for this to say, I agree, I'm going with you. Yes. And again, yes. And again, yes. Each one of these is a wonderful breath. Yes. Yes. And one more time. Yes. Now this movement can lead, should lead to relaxing your breath. So let yourself with each one of them in a full way, but not any tension. Now you use the left foot to say, no, I'm not going there. Use your left foot and make a half circle behind you. No, I disagree with that. That's symbolic. No. We use the will side of the body, the liver side. No. 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 I distance myself. No. 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 Back together again. Again, yes. Yes. Relax your breathing. And time. Yes. 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 You really let your will flow into this, not too slowly on the pen. No. 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 Okay. Take a moment's breath. This belongs to the same genre of exercises as the soul gestures with the hands. These are foot gestures to express the soul. Right? And now we're going to alternate between yes and no. We have yes, no, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, breathe, no, yes, no, and breathe. Thank you. Let's review what we've done so far, and then we'll take the last of our exercises for this part of our morning. You started with the peace exercise 3 times. Then we do contraction, expansion, and do at least one set of that with the verse. So warm it up a bit just by breathing without the verse, and then at least once with the verse. Then walking as long as you can, an hour if you want, at least 1 minute, something in between. And then you can add to that the different soul exercises that we practice, walking, and then yes and no with the feet. And now we'll come to the final of the exercises. In this case, we learned this next exercise is actually called the immune strengthening exercise. The name of it is Reverence. So to prepare yourself for this, remember what we started with the peace exercise. Above, below, right, left, front, back, and we have special emphasis on the back face with this exercise. And the picture that lies behind this exercise is that forces of healing stream into us from the spiritual world. The world of the senses will not heal us. It might confuse us, it overwhelms us, it stresses us. But the world of spirit accesses different spiritual beings, spiritual forces, archetypes of our health, and they stream into us like sunlight, like starlight, with spirit consciousness. And that's what we're going to open ourselves to free ourselves from the stresses of the sense world. So I will first teach you the gesture for reverence, which, put my arms down again, which belongs to these theories. This is the gesture for reverence. We have the hands back here. When I practice this, I think of some Christmas cards I have seen, or great paintings where the great angels stand like this in reverence. And I'm not just holding my arms up, but I'm feeling that my back is being illuminated by starlight and sunlight. And then to intensify that feeling very slowly, I'm going to lower my arms in reverence. This is that soul movement. But that's only the second half of the exercise. The first half of the exercise acknowledges that we live in this world. And so even as we went backwards with reverence, we go forward with gratitude. We're going to do this with the sound ah in Eurythmy. Again, you don't speak it, but you open your arms in this gesture. But to make it real and not abstract, you open them and feel that you are looking at something exquisitely beautiful, a bouquet of beautiful flowers, a basket of stupendous fruit, going forward with such excitement and delight for the world of the senses, colors, and fragrances. You hold your arms here. Now, look carefully. This is the gesture for the sound ah. I don't want you to be too wide and formless, not too narrow, not too high, not too low, but right out here. Can you get this angle and imagine? And then I thank God for this beautiful world. And my angel taps me on the shoulder and says, yes, but don't forget the archetypes. And so then with one beautiful top movement, I lift my arms, and now my focus is back here to the gods. And I lower my arms in gratitude. And I feel as much at home in spirit as I am in matter. That was it. And this you will practice 10 times every day. I love the world and I revere the spirit. And I practice being at home in both worlds. In the morning, I will wake up into the world of the senses. And at night, I re-enter the world of spirit, the world of the stars. Ah. And lower. All the way down to the ground, yes. I feel grounded. And again, gaze wide open. When I go back, I don't lift my eyes and I don't lift my head. I just lift my feeling. Like we practice an expansion. And now all my feeling behind me. And again. And once again. And rest. So that will complete your series for today. And so at the end of the series, fold your arms. Breathe. Rest. Thank you. For those of you who are new, let me remind you what your practice series is. For your first week, the peace exercise, contraction, expansion, threefold walking with hand movements. Yes and no, and then reverence. A lovely small sequence. If you don't take a full hour to do your threefold walking, you can do that in 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So next week we will have more exercises and go deeper with all of this. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, as I said in the beginning, I welcome you, and I encourage you to just leave us now and go deeper with this in your own practice. As I said before, I'm now going to do a little extra session with the advanced students who know much more about these different dynamics. And yeah, I would invite those of you who are new to take advantage of having learned these new things and save these more advanced experiences for when you come back a little bit later, in half a year or a year, and you can learn some of these poems too. And yes, in a few hours, you will get an email with the link to the YouTube video, and you'll also get the PDF that describes these exercises and contains the verses. So if you have, you want to sign off now, you can. And the rest, some of you, please feel free to stay, and we'll do some verses for the Michaelmas season. Thank you so much. I want to do with you two poems. One of them I did with you last year, a Michaelmas poem, a poem for courage and strength. The other one is new for this year. And both of these are going to be built upon the consonants that we've worked on before. The texts for these poems are in the PDF at the back part of the PDF, so you can flip through and find them there. I'd like to begin by doing the evolution sequence with you that we worked on quite a bit I believe it was last January. And I hope that those of you who have stayed were part of those consonant series. So you'll remember we had 12 consonants, and we did them in the order called the evolution series, which is not the same as the order that we worked on them when we did the constellation series. Different order, different story. But if you were there, you'll remember it right away. We start with the sound B. Feeling the sound B, we feel that we are wrapping ourselves in a cloak. Out of the abode in heaven, I awaken to birth. Then the sound M, more and more. We move into matter. And the sound D, downward drawn, we find ourselves. N, we are quickened by knowledge we gain through the senses. R, Restlessly awakened, we roam through the world until we become adults, till the soul unfolds from within. And now the G, we gain and grow in inner strength. Now the sound CH. I'll do it a little sideways. Becoming ever more human as we grow. F, we free the force of knowledge into the flow of air. Yes. Until the teacher becomes a sage and a master. H, heralding to new heights. And T, the light of truth that flows into us. Let's do that again. Once again, if you happen to be sitting, this is one of the good things you can do in sitting. And we have out of the abode in heaven, we are born. And we are woven into matter. And we enter the world of gravity. And we experience the world through our senses. With an enlivened astral body, we just roam through the world until the first cycle of life is completed. And now we become adults, going out and looking for our teachings, becoming ever more human until we can become a teacher, a master. The master must open to the spirit so that they do not become arrogant, and then all of their knowledge can lead to a union with truth in service to the world. Yes. So this was last year's series, working on that. Now we're going to take a poem for the Michaelmas season, and this poem builds upon the knowledge and the understanding that every sound gives us its own power. And the consonants bring the power of the shaping formative forces. And so there is many poets use the power of sounds to impart a particular dynamic to a poem. We call this form of poetry alliteration. And you'll notice then in this first poem that we're going to do that we will have lines of poetry in which a sound is repeated again and again. I'm going to kind of hammer my hands each time we have an alliterated sound. The first line will give us B, and then L, and then F, and S, and D. All right, ready? Hail to Michael, brave and bright, who loves and lives in the light. The fierce foe he fights, with swinging sword he smites. The dragon, dark and drear, hail the triumph of the light. At the season of Michael, we want to work on power poems. This is a time of year where we need strength and courage. So again, this is 6 lines. You can copy me this time. Hail to Michael, brave and bright. L, who loves and lives in the light. F, the fierce foe he fights. S, with swinging sword he smites. D, the dragon, dark and drear. Hail, the triumph of the light. Now, we work this principle extensively in the Waldorf schools in the 4th grade curriculum. When the children are studying the Norse myths, I imagine that many of you, possibly not all of you, are aware of the Waldorf school curriculum and the different subjects that they teach. And in 4th grade, they study the Norse myths, an age of power. And we teach the children like this. We say, imagine that you are a druid and you're going to walk through the land to tell the stories of heroes and tragedies. And you have a great cape on. Johnny, what color cape do you have? Margaret, what color cape? So that they practice really seeing themselves clothed in an elegant cape and boots. And what kind of boots do you have? And they must all say, I have golden boots or whatever. And what kind of hat do you have to protect you against the cold and the wind? So I'd like you to imagine yourself embodying this north strength. And then we set up the scene to imagine you're walking along the cliffs by the ocean and the wind is blowing you so hard you would fall over, but you have the might of the bard in you. And so the children must practice like this. Hail to Michael, brave and bright, who loves to live in the light. The fierce foe he fights, with swinging sword he smites. The dragon dark and drear. Hail to the victory of the light. What are we doing? Yes, with our threefold walking, we work to embody ourselves in the legs. And now with this, we're taking this leg power even deeper. I imagine that might be hard for some of you, and some of you are right with me. If you were with me in the class as a 4th grader, at this moment, I would walk up to you and just see if you're standing grounded enough that I can't push you over. Let's try this one more time. Challenge yourself to the best of your ability. Inwardly focus. Ready? Hail. Sorry, the first word doesn't get an alliteration. Hail to Michael, brave and bright, who loves to live in the light. The fierce foe he fights. Let me push you over, but I shouldn't. With swinging sword he smites. The dragon, dark and drear. You all power down there? Hail, the victory of the light. And now we take that same immense power into our arm gestures. And we're going to do, and today we'll just do the alliterated sounds in our Eurythmy movement. So the first line we'll do B, 2 times B, wrapping that cloak around you because the winds are blowing harder. Hail to Michael, brave and bright. You'll notice I have done 2 different arms. Again, hail to Michael, brave and bright. Again, now you won't be saying it out loud, but you'll be saying it with your arms, but you want to click that B into place at exactly the moment that you hear B. Hail to Michael, brave and bright. The next one is the L, which is actually a smoother sound, but you'll need to get the energy for the L by really going down and up and down. Yeah, you need to use the bottom part of the L. Loves to live in the light. Who loves to live in the light? Again. And remember, the danger with L's for many people is that people might want to just go L, L, L. And I'm very firm on saying no, an L is not an L if you don't work for it. So we need this descent. Let's do the L here, down, and then overcome gravity. Then you can have an exaltation. And again, down, and okay, who loves to live in the light. And the next line is the F, the fierce foe he fights. Terrific sound for alliteration. We're going to shoot an F. If you did the consonant block with me, you remember the F is like shooting swords or perhaps spears. You pull your arms back and you're going to let your power fly. The fierce foe, he fights. You've got Michaelic fire in your arms again. The fierce foe, he fights. Keep your power now. Now the S. With swinging sword he smites. S. Most difficult of the consonants. You need to really have Michaelic power, fighting power to do this S. Sometimes we use the imagination that you have snakes here. You're going to go in, but you also could feel like you have whips. You go down, lots of power, cross your arms, cross, and again and again. Here we go. We go down. S. Again. S. With swinging sword, he smites. Again. With swinging sword, he smites. Again. With swinging sword, he smites. And now the sound D, the dragon, dark and drear. The dragon, dark and drear. The dragon. You hold that dragon under your feet. Dark. Don't let him up. And make sure that he's down the rear. Okay. We'll do it 2 more times. Hail to Michael, brave and bright, who loves to live in the light, the fierce. Oh, he fights with swinging sword. He smites the dragon, dark and drear. Hail the victory, the triumph of the light. And one more time. Hail to Michael, brave and bright, who loves to live in the light. Just fierce. Oh, he fights with swinging sword. He smites the dragon, dark and drear. Hail the triumph of the light. We'll close our class for today, and we'll go back and go deeper with that next week. And I hope you can feel the power of this alliterative verse just penetrating you, giving you the strength for this season, as well as the grounding and bit of a release in all of the stress that you might be feeling in this time. Please forgive the technology the way it is. And as a wise woman said to me this summer, we're taking light right into the realm of the internet and using these tools of light right in this place of technology. Thank you. And also, I did not introduce to all of you Michelle, who is my wonderful technology and heart assistant. So thank you, Michelle. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.